So I got your answers, and this is exactly what I knew was going to happen. Let me show you.
What do you hear?
What do you hear?
I heard I smelled because of course I had to be an otter.
I smell.
I smelled because of course I had to be an otter, yeah.
Okay, close enough.
She's someone very close to me who has grown up immersed in this way of seeing and experience life. And she got the closest to what I actually said. She heard I smelled. And if you know that English is not my first language, I smelled and I smiled. Yeah, I can confuse the way that I pronounce those words, right? So she's not only attuned to my energy, but also familiar with my accent. Her familiarity with me, my accent, led her to what she heard.
Right, but no, you didn't. You didn't hear
I
the
heard
word
help.
need.
No, I didn't hear the word need.
One more time. Pay attention.
I hear help, and of course has to be an otter. That's all. I don't.
It has to be another. Yeah,
Yeah, that's all I
yeah.
heard.
Okay, thank you.
This one proves that familiarity fact even more. Surprisingly, he's a police officer, and the first thing his mind went to immediately, naturally, was help. And that makes complete sense. In his work, his whole purpose is built around being there when someone needs help. That is who he is. His awareness is constantly tuned to protect and respond. So when his brain receives those sounds, it went straight to what matters most to him. That is actually beautiful. Every filter reflects a purpose, a calling, something that matters to that person. Then I asked someone else, and his experience was completely different again. He could not make out a single word. Not one, just sounds. And this is where it becomes really interesting because what each person hears is not just about the audio, it's about how the mind is engaging with it. Our minds immediately organize the sound into meaning. We recognize patterns, fill in the gaps, and form a sentence. And when we are more in a neutral state, we can hear the sound itself without turning it into something familiar, at least not right away. Every interpretation has to do with our state of being at that particular moment. And yes, my accent can also play a role here because the sound itself, my accent is not something everyone is equally familiar with. But this is the deeper point. We are all perceiving through our own state of being, through what we are used to, what we expect, and that shapes not only what we hear, but how we experience life. So look at what just happened here. Same audio, same words, and completely different experiences. Each person perceives it through their own frequency, their own state of being, their own life experience. This is actually how reality works. And it is happening to all of us all the time with everything we experience. What you heard in that clip reflects where you were in that moment, your state of awareness, your level of focus, the frequency you are operating from. For example, have you ever watched a horror movie and then heard a strange noise in your house that same night? Was it scary? Oh, yeah, right? That exact same noise will feel completely different on a normal day. The noise was the same. What changed was the state you were already in. That is exactly what happened here. The audio was always the same, but each person experienced it through their own frequency and constructed a completely different reality from it. You do not experience reality as it is. You experience your version of it. And your version is always being shaped by where your attention is and where you are, the frequency you're operating from in that moment, like I said. And then something happened with the AI software that made all of this even more interesting. You have to watch next video. I'll explain there.